Are you excited for the debate tonight, the VP debate? I'm not. I don't think this is going to be consequential. It'll be interesting to see Kamala because here's the thing. This is what I think about the debate that's going to happen tonight. I think you're going to see Mike Pence be weaker than he needs to be, even how they draw him in this photo, in this picture. Obviously, this is taken from an actual still image, but you can see he kind of always looks reconciliatory. Like, he always looks like he's sad or trying or optimistic, or it's never hard and angry and frustrated. He's not going to come out swinging. And he should. Remember Ari Fleischer today on Fox? If you didn't catch it with Harris Faulkner, not anybody watches her show, so you probably didn't see it. But he had said, Ari Fleischer said that Mike Pence needs to come out on offense immediately. He needs to begin on the attack. And I think that's what you're going to see from Kamala. And I think that's why he said that. I think Ari Fleischer is aware of the Kamala plan, and so he's trying to encourage Mike Pence to do the same thing without saying that that's what it is. So you're going to see, in my opinion, you're going to see Kamala Harris come out swinging right away. She will be on the attack because that's how you've seen her debate in the past. In all of the Democratic primary debates, you saw her attack people saying, like about Joe Biden. I don't think you're a racist, but you did a bunch of terrible racist things with segregationists. You voted with them. You supported the blocking of busing. And a little girl in in California, I think it was San Francisco, and a little girl, that was me, Joe. A little girl couldn't use the bus that had white kids on it, and that was me. Now she's on the ticket. So I wouldn't be surprised then if you also hear Mike Pence ask, hey, Kamala, where is that little girl? Remember that little girl that hates Joe Biden? Why is she now on the ticket with him? Were you lying then, or are you just kind of doing this out of convenience now? Is being with Joe Biden a means to an end? Ask her directly. Who was going to be your number one pick for VP if you were the nominee? That would be telling. What would she say? Castro? Or Wilhelm from de Blasio from New York? So I don't think you're going to see Mike Pence push Kamala. I think you're going to see him be very calm and measured in his responses. I think he's going to be very articulate. I think he will answer to the policies, and I think he will try to shame her from a high ground position without ever actually attacking. And it'll be shade throwing. It'll be casting shade, never any actual attacks. I hope I'm wrong. I think that's what'll happen from Mike Pence because I think he's kind of a weenie. And then I think you're going to see Kamala be the big swinger. Now here's the thing. I wonder if Mike Pence will be smart enough, adept enough on the debate stage on his feet, thinking as she's attacking him to do a couple sidestep jabs. If she says something ridiculous like, you wanted to shock gay people or something like this, he could return with a, touche moment, referring to her keeping people in prison for slave labor, or, smoking marijuana and laughing about as she locked up people for marijuana and then kept them in prison longer than they should have been for marijuana as she smoked it and laughed about it on the radio. I mean, he can do something, but he needs to do some prep. There needs to be some really serious prep work. There needs to be some copywriters sitting in a room with him going, okay, now what is the market? What's the line? What's the line? You see this kind of meme format, the template on Twitter, where they make a statement and they go, that's it. That's the tweet. That's what he needs. He needs a line that just puts a nail in it and anchors her to whatever negative thing that he's bringing up. So if it's not Willie Brown, if it's not keeping people in prison, if it's not the marijuana issue, ask her favorite Tupac song. And then ask her second favorite and watch her spin. Because she won't know 3, let alone 2 or 1. First she'll say, going back to Cali. I know what I said, because I'm telling you, that's what she'll say if you ask her that question directly. Mike Pence isn't smart in the way of the street, so you know that he won't be asking, what's your favorite Tupac song? He would be asking things like, Kamala wants to tear apart health insurance for 180 million Americans. People aren't hearing that at home. People hear that, but they're like, yeah, that seems really unrealistic. Like, they wouldn't really do that. They think that. They think, well, she represents the idea that we could, if everyone else could have insurance, and that's like a positive thing. People at home are stupid. I'm telling you this because you know. I want to know what you think of the debate in the comments, so let me know below. But this is the overarching point is this. I think Mike Pence will defend. I don't think he will attack. I think Kamala will only attack, and that leaves a spot for Mike to get a couple sidestep jabs in. If all he does is hold the shield and have a dagger, he doesn't need a broadsword. He doesn't need a giant, attacking weapon. And Kamala, that's all she's going to be good for. She will have no defense because she's incredibly vulnerable on the bad things that she's supported, on the bad policies that she's enacted, and on the terrible way that she's treated her constituents. If you didn't know about what Kamala's done to her people, about the people in California that have been kept in state prisons for as many as 2 or 3 or 5 years beyond their original sentence, sometimes much longer than that. There was one case I saw where there was a guy who was kept in prison. He was already in prison too long when she took her position. Because, some people are like, well, how long was she even in this role? Yeah, I get that. This is a person who should have already been out of prison. For whatever reason, mistakes were made, and he had an issue in prison at one point. So he was constantly flagged and never let out. Kamala comes in. He should have been released. People tell her this person should have been released. And he stays in for a number of years later. And this has only come out because people look into what Tulsi Gabbard talks about in the primary debates. So I encourage you, go fact check Tulsi Gabbard. Go and see what she was talking about with Kamala, and then get a sense for what you may see between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. Last point I want to make, because I only just noticed this in the last 10 seconds. Do you see a similarity at all between Kamala's skin tone in this image and Mike Pence? Isn't he supposed to be white and she's supposed to be a black woman? I mean, a black Caribbean Indian woman? Give me a break. People know at this point, if you didn't know this by now, now you know. You're welcome. Kamala Harris is an Indian woman with some Caribbean heritage. But that does not make her an African American woman. She's not black in the sense that you would walk into fill out an application, and on the form you fill out what you are a majority of or a race of, or if you want to say mix and then fill in the blanks. But she wouldn't fill out black. She would put Indian, or Indian Asian, or mixed race other. The last one that she would fill out is black or African American. She's not African American at all. You could say she's black. She's not African American. She's a person of color. She's a woman of color. Again, those are your terms. She's not black. Then you have Mike Pence over there with a real nice tan. He looks virtually as black as her. And if you look at the shadow on the side of his face, I mean, he is darker than her. So, interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure the notification bell is clicked on. And then do everything else that you can do to keep America afloat.